Some strange sounds are described by listeners like trumpets or horns, almost musical in quality.
All right, welcome back to the Conversation Unknown podcast. We're on episode 24. I'd like to thank everybody for sticking with us. All the likes, shares, comments. Please do so for this episode. We're going to keep all the links in the description for anything that we watch today, so you can go give them a like. Subscribe to their channel for their dopeness. And in the meantime, you know what's up, guys? You got anything to say, or you want to kick this off?
We're just doing it for you guys. We fucking love you.
Right. For the culture.
Fuck yeah.
Well,
What we got? We got
Chambers
me,
up
man.
first here.
Yeah, check this shit out.
Absolute proof that NASA has been lying to us about what stars really are, guys. Now, what you're looking at right now is a star in a jar. Science has recreated a star using sound, frequency, and water in a jar. Which is really funny because all of our ancestors told us that the stars, this is what the stars really look like under a Nikon P900, the most powerful camera there is. They always told us that the stars are frequencies of light within the waters above God's dome or firmament. Have a listen to this right.
A star in a jar is made when a sound wave is passed through a small bubble inside a flask of liquid. And this sound wave makes the bubble do something remarkable. First it expands, then it collapses. And this collapse happens so violently that vapor molecules trapped inside the bubble slam together and heat up so much that the bubble gives off an incredible burst of heat and light, several thousand times a second, giving the appearance of a star.
Once again, guys, here's exactly what stars actually look like versus what NASA tells us they look like. Here you're going to see Buddy zoom in on an actual star. You're going to see what stars actually look like to our own naked eye, not what NASA tells you. It's all CGI bullshit. Cymatic patterns, which are frequencies of sound pitched into water. This is what our ancestors told us the stars were. Frequencies of light within the waters above God's dome or firmament. Mentioned many times in the Bible, the Quran, all religious texts. All of our ancestors depicted this. This is what the stars really look like, guys. It is frequencies of light within the waters above. Now, check this out. Here's how the Egyptians depicted our Earth. You know the people that built the pyramids that, we can't replicate? Probably a little bit more wise than we were, huh? Well, they always told us that the stars were within the firmament above. And God made the firmament and divided the waters which were under the firmament from the waters which were above the firmament, and it was so. Genesis 1:7. So there's waters above us. Man, that would give us a perfect explanation of why the sky is blue. Guys, it wasn't just the Egyptians that told us this. It was all of our ancestors, all of them. Here's what the planets really look like, and here's what NASA tells you they look like. Mars, real Mars.
Like, I don't know, it makes a lot of sense to me as far as it being in water and replicating, because I've always noticed that too. Anytime I've looked at something through a telescope or anything, it has those vibrational, like the frequency patterns, like, when they put the stand on a flat thing and then pump through certain frequencies, they make
even
those,
without a telescope, man. Look at the stars. You see them flickering like that.
It's like, the energy waves and stuff. And it was interesting to me because, like, when I look out at the sky and space, I don't necessarily think of the water, even though I am a Christian. But when they replicated it and then zoomed in and showed it, it was alarmingly similar. I thought it was crazy. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I think I've heard about the thing where they shrink the ball of the bubble down and then you get a flash of light. And I think that's I could be wrong. I'm not a fucking physicist, but I think that's like a good experiment to demonstrate the E=mc² thing, where you're like doing something.
Whoa, you're getting a little too.
I know. I
mean,
no, but
it hurt my brain.
It's pretty cool stuff. The one thing that the artifacts that you get from zooming a camera into a star and making it look weird, the thing that makes me think of, and I can show this next time, is one time I was all like, just, I don't know, paranoid. I thought that there was a mouse down here.
Why, Benny? Why were you all paranoid?
I've been up for a few days. I was a little paranoid. So
Just happened to be up for a few
I thought
days.
there was a mouse down here. I ended up putting a camera on a remote control car and getting up close because I was like, I don't fucking. It looked weird. I didn't know what it was, and I zoomed in on it. And the thing about cameras in certain lighting conditions is they can give off artifacts. And I'll show you the video. It looks fucked up. I sent it to my buddy and he's like, that looks like a straight up monster. And it just has to do with the way the cameras process light. So, and I've seen that too. I know exactly what he's talking about.
Right,
but
check that out.
I would challenge what it is with doing the same thing from with a flashlight from a long way away. So I think you'd get a similar effect.
All right.
Yeah.
Benny. Well, Chambers.
Well, I mean,
Whoa. Whoa. So,
oh, you had a
I
question?
got a question for you. Flat Earth, right? Globe, right? What side are you on again? Real quick.
I'm kind of riding that nuance. Like,
So you
'cause
still
I'll tell
think
you-
it's a marble?
He's a conservative middleist.
Yeah, like
He's open. He's open to it.
You still think it could be a globe, right?
I'm leaning towards the globe more.
Okay. Why would you play this video and be like, this is amazing, look at this, dude? Because
Because
you think the globe's wrapped in a ball of water?
here, I'll tell you why. One,
You're not making any sense, dude.
I am making sense. One, I can find something interesting and be receptive to new information, even though I already have an idea in my head of what I believe. It doesn't mean that I'm impervious to receiving other information that may or may not change my mind on my current position. Also, two, I've never been to space, so how do I know that while they're in space, they're not actually doing spacewalks, but they're doing float stuff in space?
In a pool.
Well, whether it's in a pool or whether space really is water and they just haven't told us.
Can anybody on the show fucking say yes or no?
No,
And that's it?
They say only a fool is certain, right? Only a fool is certain, and I think that's a really important thing to say. You know, like I said, I'm open to flat Earth as long as it reconciles all of the issues that I have with it. If you can figure out a way to explain the big storms and stuff that I went over, I'm willing to replace my current belief in the globe because the flat Earth will make more sense. But until that happens, I'm not on board. But I'm open to
I'm
it.
going to
If you
start
have-
making a list of everything I bring to the table for you to disprove.
Okay.
Sound like a plan?
Yes, and I
Okay.
feel like I address every single one of them with regards to flat Earth. Not the moon landing. I'll give you
try.
credit there. I'll give you full credit there. But
Dude, that shit's fake. I'm 100.
Wait, what?
The moon landing's fake. That never happened.
Oh, hell yeah, dude.
100%. And you know what's funny is
There's a space race to build a nuclear reactor on the moon right now. Did you guys hear about
but
that?
they can't get through the Van Allen radiation belt, even though they're gonna all of a sudden have a space race to go to the fucking moon when they've been telling us for how long that they can't get back there because they lost the technology. So right there, fuck you. We never been to the
I saw
moon.
this astronaut getting interviewed, right? He's getting interviewed about going through the Van Allen radiation belt. And he's sitting back on his chair like this. And he's got like a long sleeve shirt on, and his pants are just sweating when they start asking him questions. You're like, he's just like drenched down here. Look at that guy that goes around asking astronauts with the Bible. Hey, swear on the Bible, you went to the moon. And they're like, fuck you, man, fuck you, get out of the way.
Well,
No, run away, like, stop it, I don't do that. I don't. Leave me
Hold
alone.
on. To be fair, I just realized something because I remember we looked at that Bible clip and he was acting shady. Granted, he was acting very shady.
It's not just him. There's a lot of fucking astronauts he does that to,
Okay,
and they
now,
all fucking get one punched him in the face.
Now, but my only point,
Buzz Aldrin.
the only point that I want to bring up, the only point that I want to bring up about that is if somebody approached me on any topic with a Bible and told me to swear on it, I'd be like, dude, like, it would feel wrong and disingenuous of me to swear on something that I don't believe in, like for real. Like, it wouldn't mean anything.
God, dude.
It wouldn't mean It wouldn't. Hold on. If somebody from the Middle East came up to you and said, "Do you swear on the Quran?" and you're like, "Fuck no, I don't believe in that."
Well, I believe in God and the Bible, so I'd be like, yeah, it's just a bucket of piece of paper, sure.
That's kind of where I would be coming from. Like,
I feel like that would be disingenuous, though.
Nothing.
You're swearing on something that you don't believe on. Like, it just seems like rather
I'll
just
swear
go
all over
through
the place. Fuckity fuck, 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 fuck.
Well, I mean, like, that's kind of the gift of it, is that I don't believe in it, so it's like...
Sure, yeah, I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying.
It'd be like somebody saying, do you swear on freaking, I don't know, Bigfoot that this happened? I'd be like... Okay,
right.
You know the one that always
works.
works?
A good gamble.
When you're growing up, and you think your friends are swearing your mom.
Oh yeah,
Swearing your mom, man.
Right?
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
and then you get a little older, and you start having kids. Put on your kid.
Yeah,
Put on your
right.
kid, man.
Yeah.
And you're like, ah, shit.
Right.
All right, I was fucking lying. But anyway, no, back to this. You know, I'll wrap it up. Hilarious enough though to like kind of prove a little bit more of your point. I saw this video. It was a CBS live footage, and I think it was 67, right before, because 69 was when we landed on the moon first.
69.
Doing one of the first spacewalks or whatever, fucking with a satellite or some shit like that.
Sputnik or
And
something.
they're showing the
one with the little mouse.
check this out. So they're showing him doing this, and then underneath is Earth, and this is black and white, of course. But not only does the Earth look like a fucking pizza, but it's spinning mad fast, like almost like as fast as the second hand on the clock would go. And I'm like, I don't know if this is just some AI fuckery that somebody put out here, but if this was really live footage, this is the fakest shit I've ever fucking seen in my life.
Yes. That reminds me of something that I wanted to bring a video for. That's very quick, but yeah, the Earth is spinning 1,000 miles an hour. It's not like in the movies, you know, like the intro where they show like the globe spinning.
You
have to
barely
realize
notice
that.
it moving, man.
Why when I drop a pen, it's not 1,000 miles that way?
Well, hold on. We're getting away from the point. My point is the Earth, if it's spinning at 1,000 miles an hour, that's the distance. Just picture the map. That's from
1K.
San Francisco to, I don't know, like middle of America, maybe. That's doing that distance in 1 hour. So like it's fast, but relative to the side of the Earth, it's very slow. It takes 24 hours to go in a full
Exactly.
full
And
circle.
this thing looked like it made like
It's
two
crazy.
fucking spins through the damn.
Right.
But to your point, think about it like this, because the Earth has an atmosphere. So like, let's say you're driving on the highway, 60 miles per hour. You hold a pen in front of you, and you drop it. Is that going to end up in the back seat?
No.
Or is it going to drop?
No, try it on your way home. You're driving 30 miles an hour.
Because you're
dangerous. I'm driving.
Because you're in a contained system, and that's the same thing we are on Earth. That's why you drop the pen, it doesn't end up.
I don't always have time for this kind of shit. Just drop a pen. Let's get
All
out.
right,
Let's get out. Who's got a tape measure?
We can do this all day. It's science.
All right, moving on.
All right.
I
What we
love
got
me
next?
some science. All right, next
Who
one.
Who you be?
It's
What
me,
you
it's
doing?
me.
I love it. All right.
Who's up? Benny?
Nope, this is Joe Chambers.
You're gonna love this shit.
Really?
Some Tartarian shit right here.
Oh, snap.
Check this out.
Guys, I think I found it. This is the big one. This guy said, look into the parliament building
what
in
she said.
Romania that was built in the 80s, and you're not gonna believe the fucking story on this one. So this is the biggest building in the world, the heaviest building. It weighs over 9 billion pounds. 4.5 million tons, and it went up in the 80s. And there's not a single construction photo of it. This is all I could find. Look, they are digging it out. And look, it's dirty. It's messy. It needs to be cleaned off. It's supposed to be brand new. And then this is the other one with some stuff up next to it, but
What's
it's
that made
finished.
out of?
Guys, the story's so stupid.
like
It said
white
that this
marble?
dictator really wanted a palace. And so he had a competition, and this 28-year-old chick, when she was 28, won it. He was in charge of 700 architects and like 10,000, 30,000, the number doesn't matter, laborers. It said a lot of it was forced labor and that the army helped. These aren't even skilled craftsmen. Guys, what in the fuck? There's not a photo of the construction. I dare anyone, please go look. I looked and looked and I couldn't find a single photo of the construction of this magnificent place they say was built in the 80s. Do you see what I'm talking about? They just print shit. They just lie in front of you, and they have guns and you don't. And that's all of our history books. We're like, they couldn't pull the wool over our eyes. We knew what was going on into the 20s, the 30s, the 40s. You don't know shit. You didn't know about the biggest building in the world and that there's not a single construction photo for it other than the one of them digging it out. I think this is the smoking gun of smoking guns, unless someone can prove me wrong and say, no, they absolutely built this palace for Parliament under a sociopathic dictator. Had this chick built? What are we talking? How is she not celebrated? How is this not the most talked about person on earth? You all know about Mr. Eiffel. This chick rivals him. What a ridiculous, ridiculous narrative.
I mean, what do you guys think? I mean, shit. I mean, even in that, like right there, when you're looking at it, it's like darker at the bottom versus the top.
Where was this?
This is in, shit, what did you say? Romania.
Yeah.
I decided I'm going to start traveling.
Yeah, that's a good
I'm
idea.
41 years old, man. I have
Get a passport.
You have to take a vacation.
First step
as an
is the
adult.
passport.
Yeah. I'm gonna go see some shit.
We'll get them together, dude. We'll get, because I know he's got his. We gotta get our passports for sure.
Well, let's go hit Japan, right? Because we're going first.
Thailand. I don't know. Maybe Amsterdam.
You nasty bastard, dude.
Let's go on a tour. Let's like set up a conversation unknown tour.
Oh yeah, dude. The one thing, it said like, why has nobody heard of her? And I think the answer to that question is pretty obvious because it's a woman, right?
I was gonna say it like as a joke, like man, that's not nice. Because a lot of cool chicks. No disrespect, because they do a lot of stuff. We can burn children. I got nothing but the utmost respect for women. All you women out there, mom. Hi, mom.
Do your thing. But no, be for real though. I mean, you never heard of this person.
No.
You know who Rosa Parks is.
Right.
Now she'll be able to sit her ass down on a bus.
Yep.
You know?
Yep.
So
I've never even heard of this building. It's fucking amazing, dude.
Yeah.
I wonder how many rooms are in there.
dude,
a
look
lot.
at the size.
That's
of that
huge.
thing.
That's like a Capitol building, but like
made out
times
of marble?
3. Yeah.
That's a Capitol building made for like the Incredible Hulk. Like big. And look at how intricate like the glass work and all that shit is.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean,
Imagine
reminds
owning
me of
that shit, the
church
kind of
almost.
loot you'd have to have. You know, you could have that stupid loot, like a guy who cuts your grass. Be like, you got no done, sir. Cut it again. This time, leave it a little longer.
I looked into how much a skyscraper costs, and it's about $10 million a floor. If you get it done in China, you go down to about $1 to $3 million a floor. So that's why billionaires can
Well,
afford it.
it's China.
Yeah, it's classic China. All right.
Everything's 3D printed and, whatever. Chopsticks.
All right, we got one of yours now here.
All right, so, we're bumping it down to 2 legs apiece. I gotta be really selective. We're gonna pick out, man.
Mm-hmm.
After I picked these, I sent these out a couple days ago, last week, something like that. I don't know, but so I stuck with this because this is like one of my main things, and I will die on this hill. I tell you guys, fucking get it right. I mean, you go spitting fact after fact after fact.
And a man's got to believe in something.
Bruh.
Yeah.
you gotta stand for something.
Because I
you
said
fall
it
for
before,
anything.
I'll say it again. Right? Flat earthers spit facts. Globetrotters talk shit about flat earthers. And that's about it.
You literally just called us globetrotters and saying that you don't talk shit about them.
Anyway, so let's check this out. Let's go.
All right.
A railgun is undeniable evidence that the Earth is flat, not curved. This one's for all the programmed globe heads. A railgun can hit its target 100 miles away, traveling in a straight line. 100 miles at 8 inches every squared mile is 1.26 miles of curvature. Do you honestly believe that the bullet is staying with the curvature of the Earth? This is all you need. The argument is done. The debate is done. It's over. It's been over. You guys are hanging on to nothing. It's over. Give up. You've been lied to your whole entire life. The earth is stationary. We are not moving. The stars are moving just the way it looks and feels. Wake up. You have been lied to. Peace and love.
So, game over?
No. I think things like this are very
Explain
easy to...
100 miles with a rail gun. All right. It's a cotton picking what in tarnation rail gun, bro. That thing is a straight line.
So what I need to know first off is this guy is saying a lot of things in a very charismatic way, but I've never really heard of this.
So now it's about how he said it. It's not the fact that it's a rail gun that goes in a straight line.
I'm giving
for 100 fucking miles.
I need to know.
With your guys' little fucking theories and your little fucking mathematical equations that you use, by your standards, that motherfucking bullet should be curving. But it's a rail gun, dude.
But
it goes straight.
Let me ask you this. How come the only equations and statistics that he gave was on the curvature of the Earth and not how the railgun operates, the projectile, like projection of it, where the target was, what the target was, how high it was up, was it lower, was it higher?
I'm gonna ask him. I don't know, dude.
It's just that's what I'm saying. There's a lack of evidence here.
Right.
And lack of evidence. It's what more evidence do you need? It's a fucking railgun. It goes in a straight line.
I need a lot more information about the gun, about where it was, about where the target was located, and then also, even if the Earth is flat, we still have gravity to account for. Or if the flat Earth is just moving upwards, which I've heard before, like, are we accounting for that? How is that factored in? And like, there's a lot of numbers that are extremely important that I'm not hearing here, which is what makes me highly skeptical about it. The guy's a great orator. He speaks a good game and he makes a very compelling argument. But if you don't go below surface level of what he's saying, sure, it sounds great, but like, gotta give it scrutiny. You have to put this up to all the scientific rigor that it deserves.
He obviously is just saying with a straight, lined up straight with the Earth, okay? Shoot a railgun, and 100 miles away from that shot, it's gonna be the same length up.
Yep.
Okay? You don't have to have a fucking 1,000-page book report to put two and two together to figure out what the hell he's trying to explain.
I can explain it to you.
You know
right
what I'm
now.
saying? He's not trying to be like, okay, but the wind trajectory is this way and the gravitational pull bullshit. No, man, he's saying when he shot that fucking thing off 100 miles away, it was the same length up as it was when it shot off.
All right.
Do you understand? You don't have to fucking dig into this one. He's keeping it simple, man.
I have to dig into everything.
I know, but no, okay, let's just say that that's what we're talking about, because that's clearly what he's implying, man. So
it doesn't make sense to me.
With no gravitational pull, blah, 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 none of that crap.
I can do this with one demonstration.
Yeah.
All right. So, let's say a plane takes off, reaches 30,000 feet, and that's its cruising altitude for however many miles you want to say it goes, whether it's from here to London or wherever. Let's say it stays at that exact same height for the cruising altitude, right? Now, let's say this is the Earth in a curved model, right? Mm-hmm. So let's say the top of this is the cruising altitude, the inside of this is the actual Earth, right? So as that plane goes, even though it's holding the same altitude, it's going to follow that same thing, even though it's curving around the world. It's still staying a straight line in our perception.
Because of gravity, right?
Well,
that's another bullshit story. Dude.
When you fire a gun, what happens to the bullet? Does it drop at all?
Yep.
Why is the railgun an exception to this? I think it's just faster and a larger projectile, right?
Yeah, it's a high velocity.
So, like, first off, I'm one of the.
I challenge you to dig in or do some homework on a railgun and see what the.
I understand it uses magnetic track, an array of magnets to propel things faster and faster without like physical contact. I get that. So it's a very fast projectile, but it's still subject to the exact same physics and gravitational forces that would be applied to any projectile, which is a thing that's flying through the air. So I want to say that I'm not buying it. They say that it's the exact same distance off of the ground. I'm sure there's been some sort of, maybe it might be small because they move extremely fast, But you know, it's like if you play sniper in a game, you've got to aim higher than you're going, you know, because there will be some drift.
When you do look into a railgun, that's not how they work. They do not. None of that shit applies to a railgun. You shoot a railgun, it's a straight line, dude. Straight line.
It doesn't make sense to me because
hold on.
It's gonna make sense once you look into it.
How big is the projectile and what is it made of?
And what's the speed of it? Because you're to say that would say that it doesn't slow down. If you fire a bullet, it comes out of the barrel at a different speed than it's constantly slowing down because you run into wind, just like you stick your hand out of a car.
Let's just say
there's no way it doesn't slow down.
Let's just say that comes out to be real. Okay, what I'm saying is fact, which it is.
What are you saying? That it doesn't
that it goes in a straight line. Normal physics do not apply to a railgun for a long distance, and that is the whole point.
No. Absolutely not. Physics apply to everything all the time, period. That's why they exist. That's why they exist. That's why we can demonstrate things and map things out. You can't say that it doesn't apply. You need
to do some homework on the railgun, buddy.
You need to do some homework on physics, my friend.
Dude, a railgun. How do you not know what a railgun is? Have you heard of a railgun before?
A railgun is something that has a track with an array of magnets that propel a projectile faster and faster without physical contact or combustion, like a bullet. They shoot it out at an extremely high speed, and that's it. But at the end of the day,
obviously, after a certain amount of time, physics will kick in and it will lose its fucking mustard. But for 100 fucking miles, that thing is in a straight line.
No, I'm just going to end this here and say that you just have a basic, fundamental misunderstanding of how physics work.
I don't know what
you said. No, I'm sorry.
But I got you, man.
The second you say that the physics kick in after a certain amount of time, that's when this conversation is over because we're having two different conversations.
I can't wait to get some info on this.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, that's fine by me. That's fine.
I got you next round, buddy.
All right, man.
Damn, I wish I brought popcorn.
All right. That was good. All right.
What are we doing? Do you guys remember a segment that I did for Antarctica, right?
Yes.
We're still keeping it on flat Earth here, okay?
Yeah.
Remember that when I said you go on any of the continents, but you made a short video on it. If any viewers want to check it out, it says Antarctica or whatever. We didn't get too many views because they were pressing it. Right. Anyway, if you to get the perimeter of it, right? The diameter of an entire country, you just click around it.
It was doing that weird thing on Google Earth.
Click, and once you connect all the dots and clicking out whatever landmass that you're trying to measure, it will give you the square mile of
the area or whatever.
Yeah, the area of it, whatever it may be. But only when you click on Antarctica that it does something funny. It lines out like this around it and still has like a patch of nothing in the middle. It doesn't.
Yeah, like it
doesn't mark that.
We did that live. We did that live.
Yeah, and only Antarctica it does that too. And though the rest of everything in here is like stuff that I'm gonna bring some facts. Supposedly, allegedly, but I did watch on. I really hope this is one. When it shows it shows the globe, or it shows the flat Earth, right? And it shows it bend into a globe, and then you see why Antarctica does that with Google Earth.
Ooh,
it proves that segment that I did. That's why it does that. I tried to explain, but I couldn't because.
So what I would also be interested in. I forgot about that whole segment until just now. I always chalk that up to, and I still do, I'd still reason that the reason it's weird is because the satellite coverage on the poles is much less than the satellite coverage around populated areas. But I wonder what would happen if we tried to do that thing around the North Pole. It would get all fucked up too. It might. Ooh. I've never tried. But
we should.
Yeah, we should. Definitely.
But yeah, I mean, when I saw that, I was like, there it is. That explains it, dude. So, I was pretty excited to show this.
Nice.
All right, here we go.
Yeah.
their rockets, this is how they claim they get into outer space, is these rockets. Their rockets never go straight up. Every single rocket launch from a government space agency, you'll notice, follows a parabolic curve. It goes up, it reaches a peak, but what they do is as the rocket starts coming back down, they make sure that it goes down over the ocean, out of the way of any curious observers. Anyone can see it coming back down to Earth, asks, hey, how come the rocket's not going up anymore? Well, it's going around the curvature of the Earth, is what they tell us. So every single rocket, the reason that it follows a parabolic curve, they say, is because it's going around the curvature of the Earth. The real reason is they can't get up any higher than that. They tell us that the Earth is a sphere. They show us pictures of a sphere, of a circle. It's a perfect circle. And then they come out and they say, well, it's actually an oblate spheroid. Oh, what's that? Well, it's a sphere that's flattened at both poles, so it's more of an oval shape. It actually bulges out south of the equator, as well as being flattened at the poles. So it's more pear-shaped.
So it's not actually a sphere. It's oblate. And officially it's an oblate spheroid. That's what we call it. But not only that, it's slightly wider below the equator than above the equator. A little chubbier. A little chubbier. Yeah. Chubby's a good word. It's like pear-shaped.
So now it's pear-shaped. So why are all of these official NASA photos and videos showing perfect spheres when it's actually an oblate spheroid or a pear-shaped spheroid? They can't get their story straight. The reason they keep changing it is that to fit the model, they have to change the shape of the Earth. South of the equator is larger than north of the equator because lines of longitude that just extend outwards. They don't contract back. So they concede that in their pair model. They say, well, the side bulges out south of the equator. It's bigger south of the equator. Yeah, it is, because it's flat. But instead of admitting that, they just, make tweaks to their model as time goes on. They say that the ball Earth tilts back 23.5 degrees. That's another tweak they made because we can see Polaris, which is right over the North Pole, from 23.5 degrees south latitude. Shouldn't be able to see that on a ball. So they just tilt the Earth back and then okay, now you can see it. And so they come up with explanations in reverse like this. Damage control, reverse engineered explanations.
Thoughts, gentlemen.
Okay, so yeah, it's an oblate spheroid. The difference in elevation between this is a really cool thing, and I heard it from Neil deGrasse Tyson. If you were a giant and the Earth was the size of a cue ball, just a tiny cue ball that you could pick up, it would feel smoother than any cue ball you've ever felt in your entire life. It would feel like, just picture like the most polished, smooth object that you've ever touched. And the reason for that is...
I don't know why, but you're getting me aroused.
Yeah, dude, yeah. No, if you think about that,
I think it was the hand gestures.
The deepest point on
you gotta
Earth...
twist it.
About the hot tour of that explanation.
Your dick twist.
You guys see that video of that guy at that fight?
Yeah.
I'm like, grab his dick and twist it. Give the girl dick twist. He's just
yes. Anyways, the lowest point on Earth is the Mariana Trench, the bottom of the ocean. It's like 11 or 6 miles down. Highest point on Earth is Mount Everest. That's 30,000 feet, which is 6 miles up. So the difference between those is like less than 15 miles. And the Earth diameter, even if it's a flat Earth, the diameter of it, but my point just requires it to be a oblate spheroid, is it's 26,000 miles. So you compare the difference in like 12 miles, I think, from Mariana Trench to peak of Mount Everest versus the total size. If you factor that out to the size of the Earth, it's smoother than any cue ball. So it's extremely smooth. Now, the reason that it's an oblate spheroid is because it's rotating. It looks like a perfect sphere to the untrained eye, but it's gonna be, if you measure it, it's technically wider at the equator than it is at the poles. Yeah. So
Can you explain?
And then as far as the 23 degrees. It's a widely known fact that the Earth has... I knew this in 3rd grade when I would read a comic called Calvin and Hobbes. They refer to the Earth of having a faulty axis. And if the meme and the Calvin and Hobbes is, if the Earth was up for sale in the galactic market, it would get a price reduction because we have a faulty axis. That means that in its rotation, it doesn't just have like a stick through it and it's spinning in a circle perfectly, it rotates like this. It did. Yep, it rotates like this, and then that's why we have longer days in the summer. Also, the reason that you get a 24-hour sun in the North and South Pole during certain times of the year is because it's rotating. When the South Pole is facing closer to the sun, that's when you get 24 hours of sun when you're south or north of the Arctic circles. So yeah,
wild how like that's all going on all while we're corkscrewing at 1,000,000 miles an hour, spinning at 1,000 miles an hour.
This is
all the the universe, and everything just happens to work out.
Yeah, I know. I mean, it's pretty freaky. See, that's my thing. Is the universe is a magical place. Like flat Earth or not, there's a lot of fucked up shit, and it's very mysterious. You know, whatever you're
the moon, the distance from the moon and the sun and all that crap.
Oh yeah,
with the eclipses, dude, it just happens to be the right amount.
It's a pleasure to be here. Pleasure to be here.
Right, dude. It's kind of cool. I mean,
yeah.
Flat or not, man, damn.
That's called divine creation in my world. But,
it's pretty badass.
Let me ask you this though.
The pictures I posted the other day, the big man's got a beautiful paintbrush.
Yeah, for sure.
Yes.
But I mean, he was talking about like the sun patterns and everything like that. As a flat earther, how do you believe the sun and the moon go? Do you think that they're fixed and they just rotate around the disk?
Yeah.
So like they always stay fixed and they just move around in a circle.
They're kind of like a spotlight going down and
like straight, it's like an oval type deal.
Oval?
It's like if you had a flashlight
wouldn't
pointing
it make
down.
more sense if it actually spiraled through the seasons and got a little bit closer, and then it got a little bit further as the seasons went back?
I don't know the exact like gyroscope fucking or how like one of them little pencil things when you were a kid.
Is that?
I mean, and you like turn it 1,000,000 fucking times. You get this awesome design when you're done. Awesome design when you're done.
I mean, like
a couple different colors. Like, whoa.
Here's the thing, though. Like, I mean, if it was a fixed model, it wouldn't make sense because in the cooler months we have shorter days, and in the warmer months we have longer days. So it would have to be on a spiraling.
What?
Yeah. So think about it. Like, you know how we had daylight savings time?
Yeah.
Right? So that's not the only factor that changes about how early or how late the sun sets. It's also shorter days during the cooler of the months. So the sun rises later and sets earlier. That's why, like in the winter, when you get out of work at, let's say 4 p.m., it's already starting to get dark out.
Yep.
And then in the summer, the sun, even though there's a 1 hour change for daylight savings time, the sun's out to like 9:30 at night.
And that's the one thing that is, I mean, in my opinion, it's the nail in the coffin. Now it's very hard to demonstrate for us regular people because you have to go to the North Arctic Circle or the South Arctic Circle, like to be able to see this. But once you get far enough north or far enough south, during the right time of the year, you get a 24-hour sun on the side. It will never set. And that's how they got one of the biggest flat earth influencers to change his mind. They funded a trip for him to go to maybe Antarctica, one of the poles. And he was like, look, I've been here for fucking 3 days now, and sun hasn't gone down. So you got me. So
can you pull up Google Earth real quick? Can we just do that little thing?
Yeah.
Check it out. I'm curious now.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, because it would kind of, I don't know, be in my favor. Right? If it didn't,
I'm willing to take a peek always.
If it didn't though, if it didn't do it like it does, if it didn't do that. If it didn't do it like it does on Antarctica, then right?
Like I said,
what did you guys think real quick about? You see how that flat Earth like folded out, and that's what Antarctica looked like. Because when you put that flat Earth into a globe, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's what we're over at.
Here, add path or polygon. Let's see. We're gonna go here. Okay.
That's the North Pole.
The North Pole.
Yeah.
Is it?
Okay, it's doing the weird thing up there too. Weird thing.
What?
So there's North America. Here's Russia.
You're on a body of water.
Yeah. Well, no. If you zoom, this is
Zoom in and outline territory, right?
Yeah, but the North Pole is in the middle of the water. Right, like where's...
Let's see. Well, it would be here's the Bering Strait. Here's Russia. Yeah, and this is all ice shelf up here. So it's technically not land, I think. 'Cause this is all glacier shit, right?
Yeah, well, then that doesn't even matter, dude.
Well, no.
The point is, dude, it was on land.
Just outline the friggin' glacier shelf there, or whatever, the light blue thing. Like, just go
this thing right here?
Yeah.
Okay. So go here.
No. Like, where it's dark, just go around the edges of, like, where it drops off there.
Okay,
because
like
that's pretty much in the middle of that, I believe, is where the North Pole is.
Isn't
correct?
the point of that instrument
like, that's the North Pole, right?
To do land?
I think I can. No, well, it's satellites. It's agnostic. It doesn't care if there's. It doesn't care what the ground is. It's just satellites are mapping. So whatever's on, the surface below them. So let's see if we do. Oh.
Boom.
There it is.
Now, if we do that, let's see what happens if we do it over Canada. One more time.
Newfoundland.
Canada, eh?
Okay.
There you go.
I think that's just a bug or a glitch related to satellite coverage.
If you do that on any other landmass, it's going to show you.
Oops, sorry.
If you do it on any other landmass, it's going to do that, but Antarctica.
Yep.
Well, Antarctica.
And the North Pole.
Yeah. Here's the South Pole right here. Just make sure that it's still doing it. Oh, I think I did it wrong. Oh, no, there. It's all fucked up. Yep. And I think that's just because, like, why would they put satellites in Antarctica if there's only 3 people down there? Same with the North Pole. If there's 20 million people that are down here, then, it's worth putting up $1 million satellite. But, like, it's just a cost thing, I'd imagine. There's nobody living up here.
Maybe.
Yeah.
All right, moving on.
Yeah, this is a good one. This is good. This is the Coriolis effect. This is a little bit more deeper dive into my big storms thing. I briefly mentioned that the Coriolis effect was the dynamo, the source of power behind the storms and why they rotate the way they do. This explains it much better.
As well.
Picture a circle. Here's its center, here's point A, and here's point B. Point A is twice the distance from the center of the circle than point B. Oh yeah, and it spins from its center. In 2 seconds, both points do 1 full revolution. But to go all the way around, point A has to go this far, while point B only has to go this far. And we all know if something travels a greater distance in a shorter amount of time, it must be going faster. So point A must be moving faster than point B. Okay, now swap out this flat circle for the Earth, and the same thing is true. All points closer to the center, say like someone in Greenland, will be spinning slower when compared to points spinning further away from it, say like people in Brazil, closer to the equator. So if we look at it all flattened out, we can picture something like this. Arrows at the equator travel faster than arrows at the 45-degree line, like we just observed. Now imagine you're a cloud that formed here on the equator. You'll have the same velocity as the Earth, but then a gust of wind sweeps you to the north, where the Earth isn't spinning as fast. Due to inertia, your speed remains the same. You don't get any faster, but everything around you is literally traveling slower, so you, relative to the ground, move ahead of everything else. If you're a cloud that forms at the 45-degree line, you'll also have the same speed as everything around you. But if you drift down to the equator, you'll be moving slower than the ground underneath you, so you'll fall behind. And the same things for the southern hemisphere. Moving towards the equator always results in falling behind, while moving away results in pushing ahead. Okay, now imagine imagine a low pressure cell. That means all the air around it will get sucked into the center. But the air coming from the equator will be traveling faster, so it will deflect to the right, while the air coming from the poles will be moving slower, so they'll fall behind and deflect to the left. What this results in is a circular air current spinning counterclockwise, and that's exactly what hurricanes are, low pressure cells spinning because of the Coriolis effect. Moving this example down to the southern hemisphere, things are reversed. A low pressure cell will still suck in the surrounding air, but now the air coming from above will be moving faster, again deflecting to the right, while the air coming from below is moving slower, again falling behind by moving to the left. This results in a clockwise spin, which is why storms in the southern hemisphere spin this way. And that's about it. It's a short video, and that's kind of the point. I hope you got what you came for. And the Coriolis effect doesn't really influence toilets, they're just really too small, and the direction of the spin more depends on the placement of jets inside the toilet. But that's it, that's the Coriolis effect. If you
Yeah, it's complicated, but like they did a pretty good job of distilling it down into a 2-minute little video.
Made it easier for me.
Yeah, it's one of those things that not a lot of people think about, but you know, every year you turn on the Weather Channel or you see the radar during the summer, and there's always hurricanes, and a lot of people don't like go the one step further and notice, okay, every single year for as long as I've been alive, every hurricane that I see that's coming up to Florida is rotating, well, counterclockwise. And then also, you know, that same principle can be applied to all the storms, but then depending on where you are on Earth, they might be rotating differently. Now, the Coriolis effect, just for the record, the thing about it that I want to give credit to the flat Earth thing for is it can absolutely apply to if the Earth is a big flat disk and it were spinning, it could absolutely cause, you know, these differences. But the problem is that you don't get the differing directions. You don't get the equator becomes an arbitrary line on the flat Earth model, but it's something that matters here with the big storm lines.
Very cool.
Pretty straightforward.
I like it when you break shit down like this for me because like I can understand it a little better.
I don't know what goes up with these weird types.
What do you think here, Chambers?
I think it's pretty straightforward, man.
That's cool.
Yeah, hurricanes. I've never been in one, but hopefully I never have to experience it. All right, this next one is pretty cool. Let's see. This one. Okay, yes.
Hydron particle collider, Volker.
Yep. All right. So this is a guy named Kyle Hill. He's a cool guy. And we've talked before about the particle accelerator. It's confusing to everybody. I feel like even if a particle physicist that was working on it said that it wasn't confusing or complicated, they'd be lying and a scam or whatever. It wouldn't be an actual physicist. Now, taken to account that it's like widely known as the most complicated machine that was ever created in mankind. There's a lot of mystery around it, and yeah, people are worried about it creating black holes or summoning demons or portals or fucking all sorts of terrible things because it's complicated and people don't understand how it works. This guy addresses it in a very, very short 60-second thing. Yeah,
I will say that when they tend to fire this thing up, like weird shit starts happening. Like, for example, the Mandela effect, I think, kicked in hardcore when they fire that fucker up. And the more they fire that up, the more Mandela effects we get. Could be a sap, who knows, but I don't know. Yeah.
Well, let's see what he says. Yeah. Oh, well, let me unmute this shit first. Okay, there we go. Okay, 3, 2.
Explain like I'm 5 in a few words how particle accelerators don't cause massive destruction, because particles are very, very small. So we accelerate in the LHC and CERN and all these other places to like 99.999% the speed of light, an incredible velocity, just like 3 meters per second below the speed of light, which is insane if you think about it. But particles are just particles, and they weigh almost nothing, like 10 to the negative 35 kilograms. And so even if you're annihilating these particles, they're almost nothing to begin with. And we need these big detectors, ultra sensitive detectors, to detect all of the tiny products of these collisions. But it's not like you're smashing 2 wrecking balls together. So I turn the question back to you. What makes you think that it would cause massive destruction?
The only thing that I wanted to say about this was when he said particles are something like 10 to the negative 35, in size, that's that's an extremely small number. Whenever you have 10 to the negative, that's how many decimals. So what he's saying is the particles are 10, or I'm sorry, 0 point and then 35 zeros before you get to the actual weight of the particles. So whenever you hear astronomical units, which are 10 to the 35 light years, that would be like 1 with 35 zeros behind it. Or in this case, a very small number like this, the weight of a particle, we have 0 point and then 35 zeros, which is, I mean, zero, like 5 zeros is so small that we can't even think about it. 35 zeros becomes, it's difficult for our brains to even comprehend. Like similar to the size of the universe, it's the opposite direction for this. So yeah.
Like zooming in on those, how they make those computer chips, and they keep zooming in. That's even like way smaller than that.
Smaller than that, dude.
Way smaller. You know, the thing that I always I guess maybe I always had a misunderstanding with this is that they talk about particles and so a particle is smaller than an atom. So
an atom. So when they say particles, they're referring to, I think, electrons, which multiple electrons build up a full atom. I think an atom is built up of electrons. So it's even smaller than that. And I think, I could be wrong, but there's neutron. I think the electron is the smallest of the particles. So they're just little guys, just fucking little guys.
Smallest of the known particles.
Now, and just to your point with the Mandela effect increases, I'm not saying that it didn't, but I would say that in the case of associating the Large Hadron Collider with Mandela effect, I think, do you remember back in the day, like the Scooby-Doo days, there's the red herring guy? I think the Large Hadron Collider in this case is a red herring for Mandela effect. I'm not saying Mandela effect didn't exist.
I don't know. I'm like torn on that subject, man. I don't know.
What was the recent one we talked about? With the Epstein files. That's the latest Mandela thing.
Were you being serious?
Yeah. Just,
I guess there was files, but now they're not.
Yeah, I mean, that's crazy in itself. The reason why I brought up the atoms is because I think a lot of people think that they're smashing atoms, and I think that's exactly how atomic bomb works.
Right.
And I think that's where the confusion comes in as far as smashing particles versus smashing atoms.
Right.
They're smashing shit. It's bad.
Yeah, it's crazy. These things are just fucking really tiny, and nobody's ever seen with their naked eye. So. All right, some funny ones now.
Yeah, we got some funny. Before we get into the funny clips, I just wanted to make 2 comments real quick. With the railgun video, I have to give credit to the one and only Mr. Carter, the Carter Files.
Oh man!
So I had to throw that out there and give a shout out to my homeboy Carter. And I forgot what else I was gonna say. So we'll just, if I remember it, I will bring it up.
Oh, actually, hold on. I do have. I'm yes, that's a good thing. I've got here corrections. I have some corrections that I wrote down. Because like I said, only a fool is certain, and if I ever come across data that contradicts anything I say, or that's just a correction, I always want to bring it out. Something came across last time. There were 3 things. Let's see, what do we have here? Corrections. Okay, yeah. I said, I made the comment that not space, the moon landing, the camera thing wasn't rocket science, and obviously you called me out on it, like, hey, it literally is. But I was just referring to the let's see, the Apollo module did not, the camera did not use rocket science, but the rocket science was definitely needed to calculate how far and how fast and when to push the button that I was talking about. So yeah, there absolutely was rocket science. Cantennas, that's the name of those antennas that I talked about. You take a Folgers cup. Yeah, cantennas is the word. I think I said they went a couple 100 miles. I looked into it. 35 miles is the theoretical maximum. But considering they're only designed to work for a range of like 1 to 200 feet, I think 35 miles is still pretty impressive. But yeah, I did want to correct that because it is not hundreds, like I said. And then also the last thing is the manned Apollo flight. This is more of I did a little bit more research because I was really interested in the fact that they were using a 2.4 gigahertz wireless antenna like you have in your home Wi-Fi. Now, the thing about that is, looking closer into this conversation, I learned that the Apollo mission used something called an S-band ISM antenna, which stands for, or which shares the same radio frequency, which is the S-band, as Wi-Fi, but is not technically 2.4 gigahertz. The S-band refers to ISM frequencies, which is science, education, and military, that are between the range of 2,000 megahertz and 4,000 megahertz. So it uses something that shares the same band space, but is not technically the same as the Wi-Fi routers that are in people's houses. Those are the only three that I had. Just
damn, dude.
Oh, the other thing. One more thing, very quick. There is one comment, and I don't like to respond to comments directly, but it did pop into my head. I think Vigi, was it? Maybe he's Exotic Teak.
Carter.
Well, he said, we were talking about the speed, and I said, if you're on a car on the highway, you don't feel like you're going 60 miles an hour. And he brought up the point that he's like, well, I've been in a car going 100 miles and you definitely feel it. And I have to absolutely agree. But then I want to put back the question, okay, why is that? And in a car that's going 100 miles an hour, you have vibration. You have engine sound, which is, if you're going 100, you're going to hear the engine. And then also the visuals that are going around you. Things are going very fast. So that's why it feels fast. But I do agree. Yeah. Now, I want to go one step further and say, what about when you're traveling in a jet at 800 miles an hour? You don't feel like you are. So it really has to do with the context of what you're doing. So yeah, that's all I had.
I remember what I was going to say, the other one.
Yeah.
I had the beard, right? I want to take a poll. So,
yeah.
Keep going with it. I'll go 3 months. If I get a yes, if the yes beats the no, I'll go 3 more months, maybe 4. We'll get that motherfucker down here.
Dude,
I'm gonna wear a lumberjack costume. I'll come walking in this bitch with an axe.
Let me ask you this.
Call me Panya. I'm gonna no longer be Castle for the day. It's Paul motherfucking Bunyan. All right.
What's the longest you've ever grown your beard?
Me, all of us? Or?
Probably about like not too much longer. Wait, about here. But when I was younger, dude, like I shaved the sides, right, and kept this all clean out here, and I grew this part like down to here.
Yeah.
Yeah. How about you? I braided it, dude, at 3 like points, and I was like, damn, I'm starting to look right. Like people just started questioning me. It's stupid. I'm like, shit, already.
I bet you had a beard. I bet you did.
Yeah, I grew it for almost 7 months. I actually had to, when I pulled the hoodie on, I had to pull the beard out. And hung over like hoodie and stuff.
You know what I hate though was the smell. The smell of it. I don't like it. It gets gross after a while. I guess you could put the oil in it, but it just might smell nasty.
Take a shower, bro.
Oh yeah.
Bro, I got that cool
crazy
beard paste that still new. Like I don't know. Like I get a little comb. You know what I mean? I'm gonna get into it this time. I'm gonna blow that thing out. I'm gonna ZZ top this shit. Give me
Santa Claus beard.
I think you should just keep going with it until you feel like you want to stop.
Yeah.
I'm gonna father time that shit. When I become old and gray, it's gonna be touching my toes.
We could love it.
Right, man.
All right. Funny clips, guys. Let's roll.
I don't even need to explain this one. It just watch it. It's funny.
Welcome to fucking. I will now show you fucking a beautiful village situated on the doorstep of the Austrian Alps. The villagers I've spoken to all share the same love for fucking. Fucking may be enjoyed in various angles. Straightforward, from behind, standing up, or lying down. And last but not least, it's very enjoyable in the air. Historically, fucking was mostly popular amongst men, but during the 20th century, women have also come to love fucking. One of the reasons being the growing of fruits and vegetables, such as bananas, cucumbers, and perhaps corn. Behold the fucking church. Of course, Catholic, with the priest currently away taking up a missionary position in Congo. Here we have the fucking school, where the fucking children learn everything there is to know about fucking. Ihr geht's in der Schule?
Ja, zusammen.
Zusammen. I must say, I more and more enjoy fucking children. They are really polite and so innocent. Sehr schön. And this is the special fucking farm, where if you spend enough, you can rent your very own fucking horse. Oh, look at the black one. Such a stallion. Beautiful animals. And here, a woman who prefers fucking outside with the family dog. And I was lucky enough to meet the town mayor, commonly known as the motherfucker. If you're looking for the deepest fucking experience, I recommend this hole right here. Start with 2 fingers in. If possible, use your entire fist. In summertime, you can actually go elbow deep. It is a bit dirty, and it smells quite peculiar, but afterwards, you'll reap the rewards of feeling this fantastic fucking soil. And that was all the fucking we had time for, but make sure you'll stay tuned also next week when we'll be visiting Sukatik, a rural village in the Czech Republic. This has been Nikolai Ram reporting for NRK. Bye-bye.
Nice. Awesome.
That was good, man. I had to share that.
All right, who's up?
There's me.
What we got?
Hey, man. I think you're both wrong.
All right.
Here you go.
I accidentally came across this on the Library of Congress's website, and this makes so much sense to me. I've never seen this. You guys might have already seen this, but this is a square and stationary Earth map done by a professor in the 1800s. It makes total sense of the 4 angels at the 4 corners of the Earth. It has our circular, flat, stationary Earth. It has the Polaris, North Pole, and then the projections of the sun and moon. And this can be interpreted as the donut Earth or the torus field. And this would make sense of Drake's bowl. And this would tie into the Bible verses about the potter and the potter's wheel. And this would tie into the signet rings, which if you don't know, they're rings that stamp patterns into clay or wax. And this makes sense of the ice wall. And this makes sense of the pouring out of the bowls at the end. They're probably pouring out giant bowls into our giant bowl. Scientists attribute the equatorial bulge to the rotation of the Earth, but the simple answer for this would just be that the sun is directly over those parts, so it's warmer and it expands, making the sea levels slightly higher.
I found it hilarious. Yeah, because it takes every conspiracy and throws it into one fucking map. And you guys are always going back and forth about flat Earth, globe Earth. I mean, I jump in it too. It's everything. It's fucking everything. It's a donut.
Perfect. I'm happy with now. Meet in the middle.
Right, man? There you go. You both can agree on something.
Yes. All right. Yeah. Yeah.
Like it. I like
Bringing groups together one day at a time.
That's what I'm talking about.
Hell yeah.
All right. So, I got 2 real quick ones. This guy ran across. He's that dude. What was that last one I played? He pops up in my feeds, dude, and he is fucking hilarious. They're so simple, they're so dumb, but they're fucking funny. Anyway.
Bad bitch, yeah. No nipples. What? 6 feet tall, cheeks come in a triple. She got 3 butt cheeks, side, 1 middle, and 2 b-holes. That's math, so simple. Yeah. I'm gonna love her, I'm gonna squeeze her tight. Yeah, baby, that's math, so simple. I'm gonna love her, I'm gonna squeeze her tight. Damn.
No nipples. What? Hilarious, dude.
3 cheeks, 2 b-holes.
Alright, this next one. This is probably gotta be one of my favorite ones. This is bad motherfucker right here.
All right.
Dude, I be singing this in the shower, dude. I mean, all over my house, dude. My family hates this shit. I'm singing all over. I look at my kids and I'm like, fuck, dude, like, straight up, dude. I'm jamming this all the time. I wake up and it's literally placed through my head all day long.
I love it.
No, I live this. I live it. Ready?
Let's do it.
I am fast, baby. The baddest motherfucker in the room. If you wanna step, you go ahead. You can catch these hands, you understand.
tell you this.
That's getting in my
Whoever
fucking
this guy's
head.
spirit animal is, it must be the same as mine, because this is the type of shit that I do all day. Like when I'm living my life, if I'm not doing it out loud, I'm making up crazy ass songs or like freestyles in my mind. And dude, you could even ask my girl when we FaceTime and she'll just say something, and I'll go on like a fucking minute rap about the situation and just like say the most wildest, weirdest shit. Or I'll sing like some like lovey-dovey song that's just like totally fucked up. And she'll be like, what the fuck?
Dude, I'm straight up with my little boys, man. I am fast as fuck, baby. And I like shove around a little bit. I'm the baddest motherfucker in the world. Yeah,
That's fucking awesome.
I get a kick out of this. It's so simple but funny.
Oh man, but
she's got that like early '90s like Goodwill look too.
Yeah, yeah.
He's got his t-shirt tucked in with the jeans.
The mustache.
Yeah, the stash.
Alright,
fantastic.
Well, yeah, that's it. Man.
Hour 8, probably be down to an hour with editing or whatever.
That's better. We'll try to get a little cool. We're gonna try to get a little quicker with you, you know. But sometimes we get deep. We gotta get deep. We gotta let it rip. But this is better because when I look at editing, sometimes I'm seeing 2 hours of raw footage. I'm like, damn, dude.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, we're moving in the right direction for sure.
Cool.
Nice, man. Well, I mean, in my opinion, that's a wrap. Thanks for watching episode 24. We appreciate you making it to the end. Please hit the like, the subscribe button. Share it with your friends. Check the description for the links and give some of these people some love as well, man. Their videos are good. Otherwise, we won't be watching them. But till next time, we love y'all. We appreciate it.
Peace.
Conversation
Takes control of my past addiction and reanimates my heart. Keep control of me. Try to keep the frequency